Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Riding on the Strom. I will be your host today as we discuss many things related to motorcycling and the venerable V-Strom 650 XT. Let's get right into it as we enjoy this new pavement. It's so luxurious. Although my tires are a little bit cool, I just got out of the garage. And we are not doing a face cam today. I've got it up on my shoulder and hopefully it's working. So, something a little different. I've done it before, but sometimes it loses the mechanism to lock it down gets loose and it dangles there, but it seems to be still sticking up there. That's good. So how's everybody doing? Hey, back on the road again. Now I haven't been putting out a lot of videos. I know I always say that, but this bike is due for service, so its service interval is at 4,000 miles and it's at 4,300. Going over it's not going to kill it or anything, but certainly not going to be doing any big long rides until I get it in for service. Other updates on the bike. Let's talk about the bike and focus on the bike for a minute. One of them is the tall seat from Seat Concepts, and how's it going after riding the bike for several thousand miles now with the new seat. In my initial review, I did say it was hard, and it is hard. And after riding a long day in the saddle, you will experience some numbness in your butt. But it's not a game changer or going to, make me want to change the bike, change the seat, change the bike. I always get distracted when I see other motorcyclists. But it's not enough to make me want to change the seat by any means. I'm just saying it's not perfect. It's not the seat from God or anything like that. But it is a huge improvement over the stock seat. It's more flat and it doesn't push your crotch into the gas tank. So it is much better. And when your butt is feeling numb, you just stand up. It really is that simple. And it really isn't that big of a deal for this seat, but I just wanted to warn you that, CPUspeed recommended this seat, and now it's giving me a pain in the butt. So, but I just wanted to throw that out there. The seat's not a pain in the butt, I'm a pain in the butt. Get mad at me. So, but I do highly recommend the tall seat Concepts. The other thing I've gotten questions and comments all the time about wind buffeting, and one of the things that does help is swapping out the mirrors. That does help, but it really comes down to the windscreen and what you have on the windscreen. And I'm one of those guys that just revels in the fact that I always am learning things, and I started looking into the history of the V-Strom a little bit more. And the original, I think it was the first gen of the 650, came with the spoiler from the factory. So they obviously knew something was going on to do that. So for all those people out there experiencing wind buffeting or wind problems, I strongly recommend getting the windshield spoiler, and mine is the MRA Sport. They also make an MRA Touring, which is for larger windscreens. So I think the Touring would probably fit on this. I'm not too sure. I'd rather have something too small than too big on the windshield here. So I think the Sport works out pretty well, because this is actually there is a bend into the, wow, look at that rock. There is a bend in windscreen. That's not to say I don't like National Cycle windscreens. I love them. I love the polycarbonate. I have used it on my 1000, and I'm a big fan of their windscreens, and I recommend them. And I might put it back on this. I might jury rig something, but I'm pretty happy the way it is right now. And the other advice I got was put the spoiler low. I haven't really done that. It's kind of halfway down, but just have to be on the lookout for any ice down here. Okay, no ice. And yes, what else was I talking about? Oh, and we did a video on the luggage and Kriega bags and ruck straps, and it's another thing where you learn something every day. Is somebody commented and mentioned Moscow. I don't know how to pronounce it. Moscow. And they make gear for motorcyclists and backpacking and cycling, really, too, and but a lot of motorcycling stuff for off-road, dual-purpose bikes, enduro bikes, venture bikes. And I had seen them. I've seen their products on a couple of bikes. I'd seen them on, you know, some things on Upshift online, but I didn't really make a note of it, you know, to check it out. I've checked out a bunch of other companies like Eurostand or some of these other weird companies, or not that popular companies. I wouldn't say it's weird, but I never looked at Moscow. But I'm glad I did, because they really produce the top of the line stuff, in my opinion. Would I have gotten it over the Kriega stuff? Yeah, probably. And I think for this type of day rides and things that I do is checking my camera sticking out of my back. And these kind of day rides and things, I think the guy who commented was his, oh gosh, I don't remember, Bill Park, I think. I don't remember who's commenting on my YouTube channel as I'm riding along here, but I think that was the person. But thank you for commenting. Yes, I looked at the Moscow products, and he said that he bought a 40-liter duffel bag. And that makes a lot of sense. You know, looking at the luggage options that are available out there, a lot of these companies just sell these big duffel bags, and then they have the backpack loops, I guess, you know, so you can wear it as a backpack. You just throw it on the back of your bike and you strap it down. That's all you do. And it's, you know, most of them are waterproof, so that's the real easy way to go, you know. And I think Shad was kind of copying Moscow. I thought they were copying Kriega, but they came out with 2 sizes of duffel bags, and I thought that was a really cool idea. Wow, it's a duffel bag and a backpack. You can just throw it on the... No, they didn't come up with that. So, but, and then Moscow has, I know I'm probably butchering the name, but Moscow has soft side panniers, which I like. I prefer those, so if I were to get panniers. But thanks for that. So, obviously I'm probably not going to get that stuff for this bike. I've already spent my life savings on Kriega bags, so. And what else about the bike? Taking the bike in, there might be some new parts added or taken off, I don't know. But I'm just not going to be doing a lot of long videos on this. The channel's doing pretty well, got a lot of new subscribers, and I don't know if I mentioned this often enough, but I do have subscribers from around the world, and English is their second language. And they don't understand how sarcastic I am. I'm terribly sarcastic, and most of it isn't very funny, actually. But I remember one of my popular videos that was for the V-Strom 1000. It was called V-Strom 1000 Accessories. Go look at that. In the beginning of the video, I do a parody of, you know, like a car show, you know. But the joke is I'm in my garage, you know. I've got the I've got the washer and dryer behind me. It's all framed wrong. It's just really bad, but I've got the title sequence like it's an episode in an ongoing series. And a lot of people looked at that video and didn't know what it was, and sent me a lot of comments like, this is awful and stuff. And I just, you know, I'll let that kind of stuff slide, but you know, you will run into some of my videos where I'm trying to be funny, so just be prepared for that if you're a new subscriber. And I'm pretty sarcastic most of the time, but if I'm talking specifically about a bike or specifically about parts or how to ride, I'm going to be very serious. So you know that. But I've got a lot of new subscribers. That's great. Got the community tab now. And again, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm not putting advertising on my videos, even though I am very poor. But I do put advertising on some of my older videos, you know, for older bikes. Because people still watch them, which is amazing. So anything else about the bike? Nope. I think we're all done for the V-Strom. We just got to take it in for a service, and then we can go riding. So what else are we doing? Videos. I do have some upcoming videos coming out. I gotta actually have a parody video coming out pretty soon. I want to start doing some review videos, and I also want to do some travel videos where I'm traveling. And I bring that up because something happened. We had a major storm in California, and it kind of moved across the country, and I think it's on the East Coast now. It's wreaking havoc upon the continental U.S., but it brought a lot of rain to us, which is good. But Highway 1 got washed out, and it wasn't, that pissed me off, so. Okay, I'm concentrating on this idiot driver here. Why are you braking? Sorry guys, there'll be an interruption in today's episode while I figure out what's going on. No bikes are coming around. There they are. So that looked like in the... Ooh, we're getting on the whole Ducati KTM in Aprilia. Pretty cool. I don't know if my... Oh, now see, he speeds up. What a fucking... What an idiot. Alright, so what was I talking about? Yeah, so Highway 1 is washed out. If you watch one of my older videos, you'll see that I go up there the last time it was washed out. It was on my V-Strom 1000. And yeah, I got turned away. I went. Can we go through? No? Just to look at the slide and come back? No, nothing? No. Too dangerous? Too many trucks? Yeah, I know. Okay. Turned away. I went all the way up to where I just wanted to see if I could get through maybe on my bike, you know, but I didn't. I got turned away, so. Now, this compared to that one, that took like a year to fix. That was a landslide. It was like a whole side of a hill fell into the ocean. This is just a little piece, but it's going to be, I don't know, 6 months at the most, at the least 6 months before that gets repaired. And it's a real hassle because the trucks have to get in and out of there. And but Highway 1 is closed for through traffic because you're just going to fall off into the ocean. Sorry about the wind. So I'm turning my sights more in Southern California and exploring some of the roads in Southern California that I haven't done. I want to go up 395 once it stops snowing, go up to Yosemite, things like that. So even though my heart was set on going up Highway 1, there are a lot of other roads to go on. Maybe go down to San Diego, go to Carlsbad, things like that. So, and hopefully this hotel thing will be lifted, and I can get a reservation in places. That'll be good. Now, if you've been following my Instagram, you'll see that I posted a couple of posts. I posted some things from a dealership. I went down to, well, I went to my local dealership first. Kudos to them, and then went down to the dealership in Simi Valley, which is a really good dealership as well here in the area. And looking at bikes, which is weird. Considering, been looking at the SV650. I'm going to talk about bikes in a little bit, but there is strong rumors. There are patents that Suzuki has already gotten for a parallel twin this size, and I do feel very strongly that this engine will go away eventually and be replaced by a parallel twin. Not the hugest, you know, that's not a terrible thing or a bad thing or anything, but it is what it is. But I have been looking at the SV650, and because it's cheap and it's something that I can mod out and maybe track if I ever win the lottery. And a fun bike, but it's got the same engine as this, but with a 17-inch wheel. The other bike I was looking at, our local shop got a Ninja 1000 SX, which is a pretty nice bike. And it has an up and down quick shifter, it has cruise control. It's really nice. So some of those bikes I've been looking at. I don't know about buying one, but you know, it's something interesting. And I did a video on SV1000, trying to, you know, suggesting to Suzuki that they take the DL1000 engine and put it in a standard bike and make an SV1000 kind of a Japanese Super Duke. But instead, they went ahead and made a new Hayabusa. A new Hayabusa has been released. Just been long overdue. It gets a lot of great upgrades, and so I'm sure the people who are fans of that bike are very happy. I think it's kind of the last hurrah of an engine like that. So before we're all forced to ride electric scooters. What else from Suzuki? Is there anything else new coming from Suzuki that it's not coming to mind? Kawasaki came out with a new KLR 650, which looks pretty cool. They swapped out the carburetor for fuel injection. But they didn't really make that many changes. Some body changes, but they didn't make as many changes as some people might have wanted. And they made enough changes where they looks like they didn't have to retool their manufacturing line, their assembly line. So swapping out carburetor for fuel injection isn't that difficult to do. The transmission's another story. A lot of people would have preferred to have a 6-speed, and so I like the bike, but I'm not a big KLR 650 fan. I love the Suzuki DR 650. If I had money, I'd buy one, and just saw a great upgrade of it at on Upshift Online. Let me adjust my face mask here. Yeah, not a big fan of it. I think in one of my first photos on Instagram, you'll see my old Honda XR600, I think it was. So, I mean, I like the thumpers. I appreciate the thumpers. I'd like to have another thumper. I've been on the lookout for a 78, 79 Yamaha SR500. That's a very rare bike, the US version. But yeah, that's a cool thing coming out from Kawasaki. They also have the Supermoto 300. I'm glad to see the Supermoto coming from the factory. It's a great bike. Maybe a little too small for me. Rumors are that Honda's released a new Goldwing yet again, so there is some kind of DevOps going into Honda where they're taking in the suggestions of people and making changes immediately. They did that with the 1000 sport bike, and they did it with the Goldwing now, where they're just taking people's suggestions and rolling it back into the bike and coming out with evolutionary changes, which is great to see that quick turnaround. But Honda is rumored to be coming out with an Africa Twin sister bike that is more geared toward adventure touring. So, and I hope that they're going to have a 19-inch wheel on the front of it, and I would assume it has cruise control, and a 6-axis IMU on it. So it would be kind of a competition for the Suzuki Vstrom 1000. And but the parallel twin engine, the 1100 engine in the new Africa Twin is really nice, and I'd be really excited to see that bike and ride that, test it out. Because I was really interested in the Africa Twin. I bought mirrors, so that was my first purchase, Africa Twin. But yeah, that's coming out from Honda. What else? Yeah, BMW released a new line of GSs with some improvements. You know, they keep adding more electronic junk on these bikes. I'm old school. I don't like all this stuff. Some cool features, but the main feature for me, being a tall guy, was now from the factory you can just get the bar risers. They're very easy. They've made it a lot easier to get and a lot easier for dealerships to install. It's not some third-party vendor or anything like that. And not that that's a big deal. I mean, spacers are spacers. I don't know if we're still recording. And of course the price has gone up on the BMWs, but great bikes. The R9T is now throttled by wire, and the vintage air-cooled Boxer twin bikes from BMW now have cruise control on them, so you know, I really like that kind of stuff. You know, it's like cars, resto mods, where the car looks fairly original, but it's got some added stuff in it. You know, it's got the upgraded suspension, a modern current suspension in it, modern brakes, and but it looks like the old bike, and that's what they do with these R9Ts. You got the old school bike, but you got the modern electronics on it. I'm doing something different with the camera today. I hope this works out. I hope this video came out. And the last video I did, I just had some extra footage that I put up where I wasn't talking and I was trying to keep my head still. A lot of you guys have your bikes in for storage for the winter. Some of you may be ill, be bedridden, and I really want to get content out, but I just got to get my bike serviced. Got to get it in. I got to clean it. I like to clean my bike before I get it to the shop, so detail it a little bit. So what else is on my mind? What's going on at CPUspeed Motorcycles? I did change the name of the YouTube channel. I mean, it just says right in the title, what are you getting into? It's motorcycles. And that's it. And what other bikes did I look at when I was in the dealership? I sat on a Versus 650. I do recommend that bike as well if you're not in love with the Suzuki. I think it's a great all-around bike for first-time riders. And my friend who works there pointed out something, well, I didn't know. I had no idea. But the Versus 650 has a 17-inch front wheel. I didn't know that. Maybe it changed? Did it change for 2020 or 2021? I don't know. But as you know, this bike has a 19-inch front wheel. which makes it a little bit better, makes it better off-road. So, but if you're mainly doing, you know, commuting and, you know, going on day rides and stuff, the Versa 650 with a 17-inch real shifter. Wow, it's windy. We're just doing an unedited loop here. Well, I might edit this. We may edit this. But, yeah, and I was looking, as I said, looking at the SV650. It is small, but it's not the smallest bike I've been on. You know, looking at pictures of it, I would think it's small. But when you actually see it in the flesh, it is pretty standard bike. Now I wouldn't go so far as to change out the front forks. A lot of people put the GSXR front end on it and get the inverted forks when they go racing. They'll probably do something to the subframe. Well, I mean, if you're going to do racing, you're going to break down the whole bike and kind of redo it anyway. So I'm not going to list all that stuff. But I think if I got it, I'd do some minor stuff to it. I do eventually, maybe we'll get springs for this bike, swap out the springs and swap out the rear shock and get a stiffer springs that are attuned to my weight. Not that there's anything wrong with this, so I think this is really good stuff. So, but looking down the road, maybe in the future, ooh, there's a cool old car. Springs for this, and the reason why I bring that up in the SV650, I would put new springs in that. But yeah, I enjoy looking at the new bikes and considering new bikes. You're always thinking about the next bike you're getting. But I really think I need to get over that. Stop rolling over all these bikes. I really want to keep this bike. Because if there was a bike to keep, it's this one. This is it's proven well. It's the bike, it's the apocalypse bike. Town. The range on this is great. So obviously on the SV650 the tank is a little smaller than this, but on that bike it's going to have good gas mileage, good MPG. And this is one of those kind of rare engines. It's interesting that I have the MT10 with the crossplane crank and the uneven firing order that gave you a lot of low-end torque. This is the same type of thing, especially the 650, is that you have the low-end torque of a V-twin, but you can also rev this engine out and keep the power going. Unlike the 1000 where all the torque was in the bottom end. Not that the 1000 is that bad. So I do have a lot of videos about the old 1000. Go watch those. And I would love, one of the things I want to do is test drive the 1050. I really think I can talk my dealership into it. I hate hassling them though, because they kind of really, obviously, I mean, most dealerships take the battery out, just to get the bike roadworthy is kind of a pain in the ass. So. And we've come into a bunch of traffic, and we're not going to pass these guys. It is Sunday today, so ooh, is that a look at these cars? El Camino. Oh, there we go. That's all I want. I want the Porsche and the El Camino, and I'm set. We're good, man. I don't need somebody. I love dreaming about all the stuff that I can't afford, but I would really love to get a truck or even a van. something low to the ground and that I can take bikes out of. So the SV650 is actually down, the one I want is actually down in Simi Valley. You know, 20 years ago, I just drive my truck down there, load it up and bring it back, you know, and I don't even have a truck anymore. It's just, it's a little bit depressing, but I do feel happy not being sick, and I do feel happy having a bike. I wonder what people think about no more bike shows. So I think a lot of the manufacturers, at least BMW, has said that they're not going to do bike shows anymore. The big international ones. They might do like smaller local ones. And I kind of felt that that was going to happen once they got kind of a whiff of how easy it was to do the online stuff. It's cheaper in the long run. And I think it's better for people too. Unfortunately, the BMW ones, which I think are pretty comical. I don't know if you've seen like the latest ones, but the ones, the video where they're releasing the 2021 BMW GS and GSA, they filmed this a couple of years now. So they have, I don't know who he is, maybe the director of marketing for Europe or for America or whatever, but the guy speaks English, and I think he's actually from England. And what's really funny about the videos is he introduces the video segment, he talks about what's happening, and then he turns over the video to the guy, the other product manager, maybe from Germany, right? And the guy, he speaks good English, but it's not good English, you know. And then we have to listen to him explain the bike. When you got a guy right there who speaks English, who can explain the bike to us. It's like, hey guys, I can speak really good English, but here to explain the new concepts and the new things that we've added to the bikes, a person who can't speak English. Here you go. Well, we put the windscreen down and, you know. Yeah, and I even bought a freaking cover. Jeez, talk about something that's expensive. I bought, you know, the cover from some Suzuki. It's very nice. I had one for the 1000. But I think, you know, that's something to bring up. I think for traveling and stuff, Two-Wheeled Rider, who's a really good video YouTube guy, Two-Wheeled Rider. He uses the half cover because he does all these long, you know, cross-country trips, and he does the half cover. And I think that's the best solution. That's lightweight, right? But it keeps the top of the bike from getting hot or getting rained on, but then the space on the bottom is exposed so the engine can cool down and your exhaust pipe. That's what I should have got. Yeah, the SV650 is calling my name. Yeah. And I'm really liking this engine. So I'd really be, you know, V-twinned out if I had this and the SV650. Wow. I'd have to change my channel name again to something like, you know, 650 Knucklehead. Or, boy, this guy likes Suzukis. But I am a little bit worried about that new engine coming out, so. But guys, as we see the fog off in the distance, we're getting close to where we have to say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate all the support. Please share, like, and subscribe. Let's keep the channel growing and get some more content out there. And I really want to do a lot more test rides. But thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.